Prepare to learn the sensational truth, carefully hidden from even the most astute astrologers. In June 2025, a unique astrological scenario will come into effect that will radically change the usual predictions and expectations. There comes an era of truly karmic luck, when fate itself favors you. Everything that was once lost, taken away or unjustly taken away, everything that you had to keep silent about, will return tenfold. This will be a real revelation to those who are not willing to wait many years for the next opportunity. Forget about the advice of psychologists and coaches, because from June this year reality will be rewritten. You are entering a game where there are no generally accepted rules, where you yourself become the law. It is important to note that your zodiac sign remains unchanged. To see the karmic layout for the next 12 years and understand where exactly the keys to your future are hidden, you need to turn to nakshatras, astronomical star points, through which fate offers a chance to break through all the barriers and get out of the vicious circle of poverty, loneliness and hopelessness. For representatives of the sign of Scorpio, when Mars occupies the nakshatra Magha on June 6, it marks not just an astronomical event, but the beginning of a 12-year period of radical change, generously gifted by fate. During this period, Mars, Scorpio's celestial patron, activates in the constellation that symbolizes the power, heritage and energy of the ancestors, opening up unique opportunities for Scorpios. At this time, the focus shifts from outward appearance and self-confidence to inner healing. This is the time to release hidden wounds and long-held resentments that Scorpios have long carried within themselves. June becomes a period of return of the lost, when healing comes not through traditional methods, but through unexpected events, signs of fate, meetings and financial revenues that appear as if by magic. The task of Scorpios is to be attentive to these details, because it is through them that the aura is cleansed and energy flows are renewed. Neglect of small things, inherent in Scorpions, striving for great achievements, should give way to gratitude for small gifts. Acceptance and gratitude for these seemingly insignificant tokens of attention opens new horizons for Scorpio energy. The hope of prosperity is transformed from a shaky illusion into a confident forecast. However, it is worth remembering that the gifts of fate come through the special channels of Scorpio, which implies quick, unexpected, and non-standard financial opportunities. Readiness for such a development of events is a key factor for success. The universe directs the flows of abundance in 4 directions that require special attention and readiness for change. Unexpected triumphs and generous bonuses from situations seemingly hopeless, like a phoenix rising from the ashes. Income born out of other people's blunders, where others fail, Scorpio reaps a rich harvest. Financial flows opening up through hidden connections, like secret doors leading to new opportunities. Profits arise in the midst of crises, where chaos becomes the stage for Scorpio's triumph, demonstrating his resilience and ability to capitalize on the most difficult circumstances. Scorpio stands on the threshold of a new stage beginning June 6, when he stops hiding his ambitions, turning into a magnet for easy money. However, this requires overcoming the fear of them. The Scorpio archetype has always been characterized by paradox. The desire for control is combined with the ability to get what you want without effort. The ability to let things go and seize the moment becomes the key to success, while excessive planning can lead to failure. Starting June 7, Mars enters the constellation of Leo, which becomes a momentous event for Scorpio. This is a clash of shadow with the bright light of Leo, where the 7th house of the horoscope turns into an arena where retribution finds its heroes. Scorpio, who has always played by his own rules, especially in the realm of relationships, now faces Leo's demand to reveal his true colors and call things by their names. Scorpio men, their love affairs are coming to an end, karma no longer turns a blind eye to their actions. Mistresses, secret affairs and love manipulations are all zeroing in. And it's not about exposure, but the world itself will change, forcing Scorpio to realize the consequences of their actions. Representatives of the sign of Scorpio, who are in contemplation about family relationships, should seriously weigh the pros and cons. There are 2 ways: either go back to the roots and create a completely new model of relationships based on honesty and trust, or for many years to watch as collapse any attempts to build personal happiness. The karmic laws of Scorpio are inexorable and can turn against the man himself if he neglects his family. The sign of Leo, in turn, requires openness, respect and pride in loved ones. Unfair games will lead to inevitable defeat. For Scorpio women, the 8th house of the horoscope, symbolizing heritage, becomes the arena of a personal quest. During this period, 3 major inner demons come to the surface: fear of weakness, fear of loss of control and distrust of the world around them. All of these fears manifest simultaneously, creating a sense of chaos and destruction. However, starting in June, the events taking place will not signal collapse, but the destruction of lies and illusions. The sooner the Scorpio woman gets rid of outdated principles such as, "You can't trust anyone, I am the strongest, I can handle everything on my own, material goods don't matter," the sooner the path to prosperity will open up. The main lesson of this month is to free yourself from imposed values. Internal attitudes that once served as a defense, now inhibit development. Scorpio needs to accept the fact that the manifestation of weakness is also a strength. It is important to stop clinging to the illusion of control and allow yourself to be alive, make mistakes and trust the world. Only then will the 8th house cease to be a cage of fear and turn into a source of legacy, where the Scorpio woman will be able to get rightfully those resources, which before did not even dare to dream of. June 12 for representatives of the sign of Scorpio will mark the entry into a period of testing, affecting the sphere of the 3rd house of karma. This is not just a metaphor. A few days in mid-June will be a kind of test of strength for Scorpios, where all defense mechanisms, carefully constructed strategies and the desire to control the situation will be seriously tested. However, do not take it as some kind of punishment. On the contrary, it can be seen as an opportunity to enter a new reality. For Scorpio, the 3rd house symbolizes not empty conversations and promises, but internal choices and silent decisions that determine the future path, either to success or stagnation. It is these days that Scorpios will be offered a situation that requires the ability to remain silent and act decisively. Those who showed patience, did not interfere in what was happening, did not make demands and did not seek sympathy, will be rewarded by the universe. Those who have been insulted, humiliated, and deceived, who have remained in the shadows without playing the victim, will suddenly receive generous gifts from the world. But it is important for Scorpios to remember one thing: you should avoid any display of ostentation, even a hint of boasting about your achievements. Otherwise, luck may turn away from those who decide to flaunt their triumph in public. The veil of secrecy will be lifted over the 2nd house, revealing revelations never seen before. Financial flows will rush in unexpected directions, where Scorpio has not hoped for profit. Forgotten aspirations, buried under the weight of time, will begin to materialize in reality, without requiring titanic efforts. The main condition of success, not to take the fortress by storm, and wait for a favorable moment and enter the open doors without unnecessary noise. Scorpio, known for its desire for immediate satisfaction of desires, will have to learn the lesson of patience. The signs of fate will point the right way. The first swallow of the coming changes will be the professional sphere. Work, which seemed unpromising, will suddenly find a favorable environment, support and stability. It is important to emphasize that it is not about advancing in the career ladder at any cost, and the occupation of a worthy niche that does not require constant looking at competitors. Scorpio will be surrounded by people who appreciate him for his authenticity, without the need to appear better than he is. On June 30th, Mars will enter Purva Phalguni Nakshatra, which for Scorpios is not just a game of chance, but the culmination of a period of karmic generosity. It is safe to say that from this day onwards, not just a door will open, but a whole portal of opportunity for the next 12 years. However, Scorpio should remember that Purva Phalguni is also a nakshatra of retribution, and his 8th house will become an arena of karmic retribution. Victory over ill-wishers should be won without bloodshed or scandal. For representatives of the sign of Scorpio comes the time when the highest justice is manifested in the denunciation of those who hid their true intentions under the mask of friendship and loyalty. Intuition Scorpio in this period reaches incredible acuity, allowing you to identify hypocrites with the accuracy of a surgeon. It is not about those who openly express their dislike, but about those who, smiling in the eyes, weaving intrigue behind their backs. The main task of this period for Scorpio is to ruthlessly cleanse his social circle. Everyone who pulls back, spreads negativity, complains and sows discouragement should be excluded from life. The path to well-being and prosperity for the next 12 years is open only to those Scorpios who surround themselves with positive, strong, creative and adequate people. Scorpio can no longer afford to feed on other people's toxicity and transform it into their own. The era when Scorpio acted as an energy vampire is over. He now becomes his own source of energy and inspiration. At this point, Scorpio shatters the 4 established myths about his sign that have hindered his development. First, the myth of Scorpio's cruelty. In fact, Scorpio is a strategist with the gift of winning without the use of violence. Second, the myth of Scorpio's loneliness. In reality, Scorpio is a leader whose strength and potential are revealed only when surrounded by like-minded people. Third, the myth of Scorpio's inability to forgive. On the contrary, Scorpio knows how to nullify offenses and give a chance to both himself and others to start fresh. Fourth, the myth that Scorpio clings to the past. This is absolutely untrue. Scorpio has the unique ability to quickly get rid of anything that pulls him down, as soon as he realizes that it interferes with his development. The influence of Pluto, a celestial body that also has an impact, is now going through a period of retrograde motion. This celestial phenomenon strongly recommends that Scorpio's sign representatives make a sincere excursion into the past days and ruthlessly get rid of the burdens of the past, which they have been carefully hiding even from themselves. Without such a general cleaning, further progress is impossible. There are 5 valuable tips, which, as a rule, remain behind the scenes. First, it is necessary to master the art of accepting defeat with dignity. For Scorpios, losing is nothing but an effective tool to strengthen their inner strength and resilience. Secondly, you should learn to keep silent in those moments when others insistently demand to express their opinion. The ability to keep silent in time gives Scorpio control over the development of events. Third, in no case should not waste your life energy on unnecessary explanations. He who is destined to understand, will penetrate the essence without unnecessary words and clarifications. If understanding does not arise, it means that it is not destined to come true. Fourth, it is necessary to stop trying to save those who have not asked for help. Such behavior is a dangerous trap for Scorpios. Fifth, it is important to remember that Scorpio's weakness lies in his pride. The sooner he recognizes that not everything is under his control, the sooner the world will begin to favor him. So, Scorpios, you now have all the information you need. You have a simple choice to make. Either you accept this karmic opportunity and take what you are entitled to without hesitation, or you remain trapped in old scripts, clinging to resentments, fears, illusions of control and other negative experiences. Fate itself has set things in place. 12 years are coming, filled with happiness, power, material prosperity, and love. However, this door will open only for those who are ready to leave the dark cave of their own delusions and step boldly towards the light. The choice is yours. And do not say later that you were not warned.